and the entire nation. Mr. Speaker, when we mourn such a great man, we pick some lessons that we need to follow as leaders of this country. One thing that I realized with Mr. President, the late president, that every time, because that time when he was serving as the president, some of us were in the civil service, but every time we had opportunity even to visit him in the evenings, you realize that he's sitting with men who could guide him on how to run this country. Mr. Speaker, as a leader, you need good advisors. President Kibaki had very good advisors, and Ambassador Mudaura was always there to see the kind of people that would sit with the president until late. And today we are here to celebrate the great legacy that he has left in this country, a legacy that will be discussed with generations to come, because he was a kind of leader who decided to put the country first and not positions. Mr. Speaker, today you go to the villages, if you talk of the devolution that we can enjoy is actually the CDF that was championed by the late president. Some of the children, when we talked of raising this country from the wilderness, you realize that before Kibaki became the president, there are people who are learning under the tree. The best classrooms, some of the places in this country were muddy walled classrooms, Mr. Speaker. But through CDF today, you go in the villages and you wonder whether these are primary schools or colleges built by the CDF funds. So, Mr. Speaker, this is one man who knew that the country was actually in need of his leadership, and he was not such an insecure leader. He was such a consultative man. He could always give people permission to serve in respective ministries. When you listen to some of those fellas who served with him, they will tell you that they will go to him to consult for advice and see how best to improve this country. Mr. Speaker, to talk less or even more about this man, you realize that the massive infrastructure today that we enjoy in this country, people talk of Thika Road, but you go to even to the villages, you realize that some areas which had no tarmac roads, Mr. Speaker, because of the policy of this great man, people had to enjoy the infrastructure that they had never benefited since independence. I concur with one leader who said here, I think it was the leader of the chief whip of the majority, who suggested that actually such a great man should be remembered. And the building standing behind you, Mr. Speaker, because of your effort also bringing it up, be named Mwai Kibaki Towers, so that this great man can be remembered by this house.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, nami pia kunipatia fursa